As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. I was born into freedom in a wonderful land of mountains and plains, rivers and lakes. Forever American is what I am. A past as rich as any can be. My father's worked hard to give this to me. I love this place I come from. To live another way I cannot foresee. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. As an American, I've been to the peaks of majestic mountains where the air is sweet. I've watched the eagle as it soars in beautiful skies that just can't be ignored. And by this country I'll always stand, for freedom and liberty for every man. When times are hard and things get rough, America always stands ready and rough. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. Forever American is what I am.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening on this Saturday night. Hopefully everyone's having a great night out there. No, not everything great in the world, let's be honest. Things are getting worse rather than getting better, but we got to be there and stand with it. Hi, Richard. Hi, Karen. Hi, Linda. Hi, Luke. Hi, BK. Hi, Tia. Hi, Matt. Hi, John. Hi, Hank. Hi, Linda. Hi, Nana. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Melinda. Hi, Luke or Mark. Hi, Pam. Hi, other Debbie. How you doing tonight? Definitely appreciate everybody here. Hi, Teresa. And hi, Jeff. How you guys doing? We got some news coming in that Putin is traveling by armored train, and not just a train, a heavy armored train that is a diesel locomotive, not diesel electric. This may not seem concerning, but to me it's very concerning because this is the kind of locomotive that would withstand an EMP and everything else. And him traveling with this plane is not something new necessarily, of course, but he's been using his private airport for years. So seeing all of a sudden going back to these train times is a bit concerning. Everybody should be concerned, especially today with NATO's Secretary General and Munch saying, give Ukraine what they need to win. What does winning for Ukraine actually mean? Just crazy. I mean, speaking of the Munch conference today, NATO's Secretary General stresses that 1 year since Russia's full-fledged invasion of Ukraine, Putin is not planning for peace, but more war. And we must give Ukraine what they need to win and prevail as a sovereign, independent nation in Europe. The problem with this is Russia's already guaranteed that there's not going to be any train. No, the train is diesel, but it's actually protected against EMP, electromagnetic pulses, radiation, and everything else. That's the concerning part about this train. And him traveling in it means it's a hard target to hit because it's constantly in motion at high rates of speed. Even if this war ends tomorrow, I mean, Russia is going to push to control its neighbors. Beijing is closely watching to see the price Russia pays, and Russia has truly not paid a real price, let's be honest. And the reward it receives for its aggression, which its reward is, it's more countries are partnering with it. We got South Africa now and India looking like they're going to join the fold. South Africa, of course, joining the fold already. I think NATO is out of touch right now. I really think we are. As NATO, of course, pushes to give more weapons to Ukraine from all NATO nations, which Ukraine is not a NATO nation, let's be honest. And of course, doing this would guarantee nuclear war. And unfortunately, I think that's what they want. Now, let's talk about what's going on in the U.S. here, because 2 train derailments in such a short period of time, both with harsh chemicals on board. Of course, we know about the one in, I can't remember the name of the town now, Ohio. But of course, the one in Michigan that just happened is crazy. In Traverse City, Michigan, police fear the worst as they rush to the scene of the freight train derailment. I mean, mindful of the fury of crash this month in Ohio, have led to evacuation of toxic chemical releases that they still claiming aren't that bad, but we'll talk more about that more in a second. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Minnie. I'm sorry. But yeah, given that instead the situation half hour drive west of Detroit, so far less grim, only 28 of the 143 cars of the train had gone partially off the track, with a couple overturned, several others upright but knocked sideways. Injuries, and nothing has appeared to be spilled yet. The lone car carrying hazardous materials supposedly wasn't affected. But about 50 cars, including the 10 carrying hazardous material in eastern Palestine, Ohio, that were released in the air and ignited into flames. 10 of those cars carrying hazardous materials did that. And it's ridiculous. They're like, why is this all of a sudden happening? You know, saying, oh, maybe it was a mechanical issue, perhaps an overheated wheel bearing. All of a sudden, didn't happen before. Crazy. And if they're in any of the area that's washed out from the chemicals in Ohio, they need to get out of there. Let's be honest. A couple, more than just a couple, but residents have rashes, headaches, and other symptoms that are tied to the chemicals from the train crashes, whether they want to admit it or not. At least one couple is coughing up blood after the train derailment. A couple from Paradise that has been destroyed by the Palestine train derailment live outside the danger of death zone. Nathan and Kelly Isaac told us today that they fled their home this weekend after February 3rd's derailment when they felt severely ill. Now, this is the same couple I've been talking to about their chickens that passed away. I don't know if you know about that. They found dead squirrels and dead other animals in their yard. They have quite a big field of property they own. But they felt severely ill and began coughing up blood. So they evacuated their home this weekend, even though they're outside the danger zone. Way outside the danger zone with this. The burning lips, nose, eyes, and a severe cough, along with the blood. I mean, the biggest fear they'll have is when they'll be diagnosed with cancer or something else, even though they're saying nothing's wrong. Severe abnormal pH levels of 9.9. The river, of course, showing dead fish everywhere. That's the river levels right now. The creek that turned blue. Yes, that's right. Yeah, how about the government finance railroads don't maintain their main lines? They don't maintain anything at this point. No, they're not going to go back anytime soon, but they're alive for now. The biggest thing is, what's the fallout going to be? Fire went out, the air conditioning, the EPA is monitoring, has not detected any levels of health concern, but you got people coughing up blood and having other aspects. You're going to tell me there's nothing going on? Let's be honest. I mean, some residents, of East Palestine, Ohio, have developed rashes and sore throats, but seeing blood coming up is one thing. These symptoms, of course, are related to chemical releases after the derailment. Massive fire, of course, prompted hundreds of people to evacuate that live near the area. But people, like I'm saying, people that are further out that weren't made to evacuate are now seeing symptoms. Yeah, the chemicals that burnt created a gas that we used in World War II, or Germany used in World War II. Pretty crazy. Toxic vinyl chlorine gas vented and burned. What are we thinking? Ethylene glycol monobutate? Ether acetate? I mean, these chemicals are extremely dangerous in vapor form. Burnt makes them extremely more dangerous because they fall out of the sky. Yeah, water supplies in Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Tennessee Valley, Virginia. It's going to be a problem. Officials say they're going to further test about 500 homes, indoor air, to tell if any hazards occurred. Testing tap water from municipal systems don't show any chemical levels that would pose a health hazard. Now, this is ridiculous. Let's be honest. It's not going to cause a health hazard, but yet we know there's health hazards from all these chemicals, and we know they're long-term health hazards. Yeah, then whenever the government does, the federal government wants deniability. They want deniability. It's sad to say. That's what's happening. I mean, people that lived a block from the crash, it took about 30 minutes for them to develop rashes and nauseousness. These chemicals aren't just temporary, they come with long-term damage. So I want to know what the long-term side effects of this is going to be. And it's not going to be a long-term. Yeah, well, that's another thing. And now the government, it's being talked about being on the same level of Chernobyl. But the government's saying, oh, this is nowhere near a Chernobyl disaster. You're talking about contaminating water for not just the Northeast, but much of the east coast of the country. Let's be honest. As water runs underground towards the south, or not to sea. Not talking about toxic well exposure at the site right now, but downstream it's going to get worse. I hate to say this. It's the truth, though. People need to realize what's happening. The evidence of toxic exposure is very well and very real. You can't say rashes that randomly appeared on a whole bunch of people within 30 minutes of this spill before they even set it on fire were from nothing. And it smells, it's nasty. People are having sore throats. People sleeping on floors and couches. Being thrown out, basically thrown out of their houses without emergency funding. Good luck with a joint class action lawsuit. It's like suing the federal government. Your prospects aren't that grand, let's be honest. Yeah. It's not just going to be one part, though. This is going to be, Debbie, it's going to get worse as it goes through the system. I mean, doctors have seen a number of East Palestine residents with similar symptoms, and they advise them to call poison control and get to the local hospital for blood tests at this point. I mean, respiratory problems is not a question. That's definitely happening. The hospital's emergency room has seen fewer than 10 patients, of course. This is ridiculous. Where do we get in this? Oh my goodness. Even what's happening now. Yeah, after 9/11. Oh, it was nothing big. The fire retardants on the steel beams wouldn't be toxic. And look at the fallout that happened from 9/11 from that. What's happening now from the fallout of that? Fallout's going to be even worse. I don't know whether this is homegrown terrorism or terrorism from inside our own country, but let's be honest, either way, it's not good. We got Putin, of course. And I don't know if you guys know this. Russian senior citizen recently suggested, and she lives next to a Russian military test base, that behind the unidentified flying objects that have flown across North America's airspace this month is Vladimir Putin and Russia. Not the balloons. We're talking about the stuff the military shot down after that. Putin's battalions have responsibility, even though we, of course, said that it's not. The United States is trying to say it's not. Because that would mean they have propulsion systems we do not have, and we do not even know about. Now we have people coming out of the woodwork in Russia saying that these flying objects have been seen all around this base, or even happened. And if it is, I mean, what's Biden going to do about it? We don't know what's in our country. Biden doesn't know. Government's not telling us the truth. It's just crazy though, watching what's happening, and the government just playing along with these roles. Of course, here in the U.S., the world's largest food companies are warning prices are continuing to rise and will continue to rise, despite what is happening and despite what the government says, because the cost is going drastically as fertilizer prices increase. So does the whole chain of events, and gas prices will be next. When they go up, of course, that increases food prices even more. Nestle, the world's largest food company, earlier this week, that is predicting that the price of staple items will continue to rise throughout the year. Following more than a year of price increases, Consumer Giant continues to warn that more hikes to come to households struggling to buy groceries. Last year brought many challenges, tough choices for families and communities and businesses. Inflation surged to unprecedented levels. Cost of living pressures intensified. The effects of geopolitical tensions were felt around the world. Price increases, which will vary by market, of course, and category, will be very targeted and only in complete where input cost inflation is justified. I mean, we're still in a situation where we're repairing a lot of what's happened. Like all consumers around the world, we've been hit by inflation and we're trying to repair the damages that have been done. But I mean, even like big companies, Nestle itself has seen a price increase of them buying the raw materials by 82% in 2022. Their overall margins for raising prices was only 6.2% of what they produced. So, of course, that means more prices have to go up in order to even meet their bottom lines. I mean, in between the lines, consumers are going to face higher commodity costs, wages. Companies are walking on tightropes with pricing strategies, trying to maximize profits without turning away customers. Sorry as that sounds, it's going to get worse. Consumers may have got a reprieve in December, but there's a lot of companies just allowing that to happen. Walmart, of course, I don't know, was doing $2 a dozen eggs today. We'll see how long that lasts. Sticky inflation doors open. The Feds are going to raise rates even higher. We're expecting a 50% point base hike, or 50 point base hike, which is a 0.5% base hike, in March. Markets are already tumbling because of this announcement today. S&P, of course, down almost a half or a quarter percent. NASDAQ down a full percent today. Markets aren't even open. They're losing percentages. So what comes Monday, we'll have to watch the market. I mean, supposedly hot job market and resilient customers have put the point-based increase rate hike on the table again. I mean, it's ridiculous. El Chapo. Instead of calling him by any other name, we'll just call him El Chapo. Well, El Chapo decided, it's good to raise rates again. Sad though, watching what's happening. Americans can't afford food on their tables right now. They can't afford rent. They can't afford anything. Yeah, they're moving more stuff underground, especially in the salt mines of Pennsylvania, Montana. I mean, all those places have been opening and closing and loading materials, food products too, which is really crazy to watch happen. But food products being moved as well to long-term storage. Why? Nobody's talking about that, but I will mention that. We've seen massive amounts of government buy-up of these products, so it's not like a joke. I mean, S&P is, investors fret about the interest rates and what's going to happen there. They expect it to be down even further come Monday. Bad times we're heading into, let's be honest. Never going to get easier. Of course, if you want to call in and talk about it, we're more than willing to take calls tonight. I got everything set up for that. I do want to thank Debbie Martin for the donation I received earlier today. All donations go to families in need around the country. But looking like China's going to end up moving more all in with Russia over Ukraine. That's not going to be good. But one day at a time. One day at a time. But nobody wants to call in, we definitely appreciate you guys being here. Ozarks, Arkansas. I don't know where you guys are. BK Boone, you live in the Ozarks? Pretty cool. But thank you guys for being here with us tonight. If nobody wants to call in, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I do have to take care of my grandfather tonight. So God bless you all. God bless America. Of course, if you can support the channel, please do. If you can't, we understand. If you have goods that you want to donate, the address, of course, to ship the stuff is directly on that link as well. But till Monday, God bless. Good night. Stay safe. Till then, I'll see you guys Monday night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. God bless you.